Check. Uh-huh.
Are you recording?
That's already recording.
You look like Tig right there.
Oh, that's That's like 06. That was my Gucci glasses with the no frames.
Oh my god.
Just the Gucci frames with the glasses.
Were they real Gucci?
Yeah. One of the lenses was cracked.
Oh, you always been balling.
I was like, hell no, I'm not fixing them shits. That was my dad's. I was like, throw them joints out.
Look at you. You already got alerts on.
Let me see.
I don't update none of that shit. That shit always.
Open, homie.
Oh, it already knows.
Yeah.
Bitch, you know what's up.
So you know we in this thing. Already know we in this thing. Mic check.
Check.
Yes, sir. We on.
Oh, we good?
We good.
Is this thing gone?
Yes, it is your main man, Anthony Smith, and I'm sitting here with my guy.
Yo, P in the building.
It's going down, baby boy. It is episode 4.
Number 4, we done made it, number 4.
Chop it up, man. I want to thank everybody out there for subscribing, listening, commenting. Keep it up, you guys, man. This is just something like we said in episode 1 that we decided to start to help people out that are jumping into the game.
Yeah, man. And, you know, you guys are actually like giving us real feedback. You're talking to us and you are asking us questions. And, you know, that's what tonight's episode is about. This isn't something that we have our agenda already written out on what we like to cover, but ain't no way we're going to not address somebody's comment. You know, we got a comment on our first lunch. Like,
Yes. This is super big, man. I was happy to see that comment.
right. So big shout out to Tommy, man. Really appreciate you reaching out. So we are going to address the topic that you would like us to, which is how do you get into filming weddings?
Yeah, P. How you get into filming weddings? You the OG of the OG of, the wedding game.
Nah, man, I'm just, I'm
Here
just
we
P.
go. Humble P again. Humble. Get you some of that humble P.
But no, man, there's a couple ways that you can get into, shooting weddings. The first wedding that I shot in was actually with this guy right next to me.
Yay.
And didn't even take no pay. I just jumped in.
It was go time. I called my boy up and I was like, hey, P, I need a second shooter. You mind coming out? And of course he showed up and showed out.
I've been hooked ever since, man.
I'm not going to lie. It's not something I prefer to mess with. I'll leave all the wedding filming to P. You knocked that out the park.
So not even just wedding specific, I would say with just shooting. If you're looking to shoot something, the way that I really look at it is if you're not willing to do it for free, you ain't got no passion about it. And if you ain't got no passion about it, it's going to show in your footage. So that's what I would try to do. reach out to some local videographers, reach out to some family, some friends, and offer your services. Don't ask for no money, just because you need the experience. The number one thing you don't want to do is have to make it happen when it's time to get paid, and
Right.
you've never been in that situation before.
Because there's so much that goes into weddings. These things are planned year and a half, a year in advance. It's insane how far along people plan out their weddings, but it's good reason. Weddings are expensive, and there's so much that goes into that one day that stress levels become high, brides become bridezillas.
Oh,
It goes from 0 to 100 real quick when it comes to a wedding. So you have to be a professional out there, and you have to, even sometimes when you don't feel like you necessarily know, you most definitely want to look like you know what you're doing on the other side of that camera on come wedding day.
Right, 100%. And you gotta take a responsibility on your shoulders, man. Like, there's only gonna be that first kiss once.
That's it.
So if you fuck that up, that's on you, man. Like, and that's heavy. You got to think about that. Like, am I ready to make this happen? Because weddings are spontaneous. Like, you can map it out to the T. It does not
I'm
matter.
going to tell you the one thing that I hate about weddings in general is everyone, due to these phones and due to social media, feel like they're a photographer and they're a videographer. But you're the only paid photographer or videographer that's there most of the time. Sometimes there's a second, and normally that second is somebody that you brought along with you or that you've already worked with. Or even if it's not and you're shooting video and they're shooting photography, you need to go over there and speak to that opposite person and get some form of a bond real quick. You know what I mean? Like, hey, where are you going to be during the first kiss? Hey, where are you going to be during this? You need to have all of these things mapped out with these other individuals before the wedding day starts. Because if you wait, it is going to be a catastrophe. Grandma's going to be in your way. Auntie Nene going to pull out her camera. It's going to be all bad. And you're going to have all of that in your footage. And if you don't, you're not going to have the correct angle that you were looking for because you allowed somebody to step into your lane.
Right, and you don't even have to do it like you ain't even gotta be no like boss hog about it. Like all you gotta do is just introduce yourself, and people know what it is from there. Like, hey, my name's Preston. I'm gonna be the videographer today, so they know when they see you, get your ass about the way, man.
I come at them a little bit differently because I don't personally have the time to tell all of the friends, family, aunties, and sometimes it's gonna be people that don't even speak the same language. So I talk directly to the groom and the bride and let them know that I'm in charge. When I say go, you go. If I'm looking at a puddle and I say jump, you jump. And that's how it has to be. And you have to build that confidence within the couple, and they have to have that confidence within you. Because if not, when you go back and you look through all of the video, all of the images, if you're shooting photo, those eyes are going to be all over the place. Right. They're going to be looking at grandma because she was calling. Right, they're going to be looking at, hey, Auntie Nene over there in the corner. Right. Look right here, girl.
You right.
All over the place. 100%. So when my voice comes in, all attention is right here. And if you see anybody that's in your family that's stepping out of line, it's on you to check them because I'm not doing it.
Right, and yeah, I know. That's kind of about what I was saying. Like, sometimes you get Grandma Ursula that just don't care.
She don't.
She ain't gonna care all day. So you gotta kind of take your stance a little more aggressive, but you don't. Like I said, it doesn't even have to be in a way where it's
a respectful manner,
right? Where it's rude. You just step into the position you need to be in. Like, and then that's what you do. That's one thing you do have to do. When you are out there, like, don't be scared to go get your damn shot, man. Like, this is their day once, and I guarantee you they don't care about grandma's footage over your 4K that you're shooting.
It's never gonna add up.
It's not. I mean, I'm not saying they don't care, but it's not for the purpose of what they hired you for.
You're not gonna be looking at grandma's picture 20 years from now when you guys are celebrating that anniversary. Grandma's pictures are 9 times out of 10 gonna get lost on the internet.
Right, right. It's going to be a shared memory or something like that, but it's not going to be the one that you print on your wall.
It's not.
So, another thing, like once you get those opportunities and you start grinding into the wedding factor, you need to make sure that as the wedding's getting planned, you're a long game with that. Like you don't like once you get to a certain level, um, I've been able to shoot weddings without even meeting the bride and groom, but that's only from the experience that I've had in the past, that I've developed. But typically, I like to be right. I like to build a game plan. I like just because if you have the expectation out there, it just leaves that much less room for variables to mess up, man.
So for me, I take a little bit of a different approach, and I like to involve an engagement session, no matter if it's photo, no matter if it's video. And what that does is it allows you to get a feel for the bride and groom. They know who you are. So on their wedding day, they're not seeing you the first time and they automatically feel comfortable with you. You almost feel like an extended piece of the family. You've already gone out. You've already spent time after time through text messages. You've already met 2 or 3 times. So when the wedding day comes, they feel like they know P.
Now so you're saying that on a photography end or video end too?
Both.
Gotcha.
I want to meet you as many times as possible, and that's why the price is what I charge, because we need to build a relation. We have 365 days a lot of times to befriend each other and trust one another, because on 364 days, you're not even going to be worried about me. You're going to be so worried about this dress, the groomsmen that got drunk last night, the auntie her plane is just landing.
Right.
So when you see me, you automatically feel you have no stress over what I'm doing, because the chaos is happening everywhere else. So I want to leave the stress factor on my end as low as possible. And there's a lot of people that need that. And like P said, there's a lot of people that don't. You know what I mean? There's a lot of couples that are toned down and their wedding isn't through the roof, but they still want to capture that memory. They still want that video coverage. So a lot of times, not to knock anybody's structure, including P's, they may not need that.
Right.
And even if I offered it, there's a lot of times that they say, no, I don't really need it. And then I break it down and explain it to them. And that's what you call upselling. Break it down and explain it to them. And that couple $100 doesn't seem like that much, because they want to know who I am come wedding day, for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely some good points. So now you got that established and you're building yourself up to the actual day. If you got an opportunity, man, don't wait to the day of the wedding to know what the venue is going to look like.
Don't do it.
If
Google Maps is amazing. You can go on to Google Maps. You can go on to all of these different mapping. I prefer Google Maps, so I'm not going to talk about any of the other ones, but there's quite a few that are out there. But Google Maps, go on there, click that world view, look around, see what's going on. So when you get there, you don't feel like that's your first time being there. And if it is going to be your first time being there, sometimes weddings are 100 miles out and you don't feel like driving to the venue just to check it out. Show up an hour or two early. Walk around.
Early. Get there early. You don't if you charge your weight and then you're like, I'm only going to be here for this amount of hours, I'm going to tell you right now, if that's your mentality going in, you're looking to shoot a shitty video on a limited one. Like, that's not what they're paying you for. You got to make sure that the rate that you charge covers whatever the hell you got to do to get the job done.
Correct.
Like period. And even if you're going to take a L and you're going to just help somebody out because you want their day to be beautiful, don't half-ass the shoot.
Don't do it.
At the end of the day, you are creating something that somebody's going to look at for the rest of their life, 1,000%. And you do not want to be that. There's enough stuff that goes wrong on wedding day. You don't want to be the memory. You're supposed to be the savior. You're supposed to put everything together for them. So
you're supposed to make it look like a good day, no matter what happened that day.
Right. Period. And that's your job as a wedding videographer, man. That's one thing I wanted to really nail in on this episode was, if you're not ready to take that responsibility, don't. Because
second shoot.
Second shoot and get your experience, man. Get your experience to where you know that you're confident enough to take that leap, because you are stepping into something that is highly valued by the people that are paying you.
100%. And back to the Google thing. Sorry to keep on bringing this up, but a lot of the venues, 8 out of 10 of the venues, it's not their first wedding. It's a wedding venue. So when you type these venues in, not only are you going to be able to see images of what it looks like, but you're also going to be able to see what other photographers have done at that venue. So it just opens you up and your mind on things that you could possibly do, not copying per se what they're doing, but just the way that they structured their photos, the way that they were kind of moving around, the way the bride looked over here, this, that. There's so much information that you can get without actually having to drive to that location. Not saying that you don't want to drive there, but if you can't or you don't, use Google.
I'm gonna drop 2 more gems out there for you too. Use the damn website.
Yeah.
Go, like, there's not a venue out here that don't got a website with pictures on it. You know, so you can do that. Some of them even have virtual tours. Outside of that, get yourself on YouTube.
Get out there.
Look at what another videographer did. Not to stop and like copy his style or her style or nothing, but just so that you know what it looks like.
Yeah.
You still got to go do you. Don't be out there stealing people's, other weddings and trying to, no, do you. Yeah. But like I said, like, there's no excuses to, like, this day and age, there's no excuse to why you can't figure out what you're walking into. It doesn't have to happen on the day of.
No. And one more thing on my end. The wedding coordinator is going to try and run you ragged. Have a game plan. Stick to it.
I'm sorry, wedding coordinators, but I usually run from y'all because y'all be getting in my way, man. I know y'all got an agenda. I respect the hell out of it. I truly do. But I got shots to get, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And a lot of times you're going to have the bride and groom that leans a little bit more with you. Other times they're just listening to the coordinator. The coordinator says jump, they're running with her. And once again, that reasoning being is because the wedding coordinator has been there from day one, helping them establish this day. Right. So they know her. Right. So if they feel like they know her and they don't know Aunt, they don't know P, who are you going to listen to?
Right. And, we got 2 different jobs. Like I said, I respect the wedding coordinators.
100%.
But, I got to capture the stuff that's behind everything else. You're making sure the show goes on. And yes. That's what I'm saying. Like, I respect them. Without them, a lot of the times the stuff wouldn't happen. But the people that you need to make sure that you coordinate with, Anthony touched on this earlier. There's second shooters there. There's photographers there. So you want to make sure that you get with the neighboring photographer if you didn't bring somebody yourself, or videographer, vice versa. And then you also want to. This is a big person that nobody thinks about. Get in touch with the DJ. Ooh. He is running the show 1,000%. 1,000. So he knows everything minute by minute. If you ever need to know what's going on, when it's supposed to come, if you didn't get a schedule or nothing like that, talk to the DJ. He got it because he's responsible for it.
Yes, you nailed that one all the way on the head. I didn't even think of that. That was a good one. You're looking out, P. You know what I mean?
We got what? No, that was the wrong button. We still working with this board, y'all.
But once again, on the whole wedding day, you can plan. Things are going to happen. Don't take your head off for missing or not getting certain shots. There's certain shots, P said, the first kiss, the walk down the aisle, the handoff. There's certain shots that you cannot miss. They're not going to happen again. So you have to make sure that you get those shots. But all the rest of the day, I like to be a fly on the wall. Just be a fly on the wall. Capture what's going on. Capture the little kids walking around playing. Capture auntie over here laughing with the uncle that she ain't seen in years. All of those moments are golden to them and may not feel like anything to you.
I'm glad you said that. So that's another thing you got to realize, that you're shooting for somebody else's memories, not for what you feel would be important to you.
You're not shooting for your website
at all.
If you get that great, amazing shot that needs to go up on your website, great. But if not, you were hired as an employee to work this wedding for this bride and this groom.
100%.
So that first, you second.
Yeah, man. Like just remember you're capturing it for somebody else, not for yourself. And if you want to do that, we've done it where you get with a company, like a bridal company that wants to showcase some of their garments and stuff like that. Do a mock shoot.
Yes.
That's your time to shoot for yourself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be scared. Like, everything ain't got like, man, if y'all ain't practicing out here, I don't like,
I don't know what you're doing.
It's crazy to me if you're waiting to a gig to shoot something that you are gonna get paid for. Like, you should have experience shooting that before, man. Like, that's just how I feel. Like, put yourself in situations. Like, use your brother, your sister, some friends, your mom, your cousins. Grab somebody. Post some stuff on Facebook or Instagram or whatever social media format, and just ask people like, hey, is somebody down to shoot? I want to do something, a mock wedding. They don't even have to be in a suit and in a dress, man.
No, not at all.
Just shoot it straight mock style in your backyard. Like, straight up, man.
Have fun. Have fun. Have fun. When you stop having fun, this and everything else that you decide to do in life becomes a job. And when it becomes a job, you put the camera down. So just continue to have fun, shoot, listen back at this podcast. There's so many different things that we didn't touch on, but at the same time, so many gems that we dropped for you guys to listen to. You guys might replay this 5-10 times before you got to go to a wedding just to get your mind right.
Yes, sir. Once again, I want to shout my boy Tommy out, man. We wouldn't even have brought this up on episode number 4 if it wasn't for you. We're going to get on up out of here. It's P It's P in the building.
And it's your main man, Anthony Smith, and we out. We did that shit.
That's gonna be like, motherfuckers gonna be like, oh shit, they're getting it. These niggas is going that one.